I'm John Kreiling from Nelson Mandela University and Tangible. Welcome to this session. We are recording it. I see Simpiwe has started. So we will make a link to the recording available from tomorrow from YouTube. So if you want to point people to that, we'll also be sending out the link to everyone that registered. Thanks for joining this afternoon. We are going to try not to keep you busy too long. We do not see today as a training session. It's more an information awareness session of the different tools that we as Tangible make available to schools. I just need to enforce, I just noticed now that it's probably a mistake from my side. Tangible is an engagement project of Nelson Mandela University, but the NPO Lever Foundation is our implementation partner. And we've got a number of employees from Lever Foundation with us today, and they will be sharing on the different activities. Tangible Africa's, we have many slogans, but learn through play is one of them. And by play, we don't mean just informal play, it's interactive activities. So hopefully you'll see throughout the hour, some of you that haven't been dealing with our tools, that you'll get an idea what I'm referring to. The Tangible original game, which I'll be showing you soon, originated here at Mandela University. So we originated with the idea that we want to reach especially schools who do not have computers, nor electricity, nor internet. That was the vision of my honors student in 2017, realizing that there's around 16,000 schools in the country that don't have labs. Realizing the reality that the vast majority of teachers are not trained as qualified software developers or coders. And so we are very concerned about the skills gap or the digital divide in South Africa, but I believe across more than one continent. Saying that, I immediately want to emphasize that, and we'll get to that soon, that our tools are not only being used in developing countries. One of our most active countries is Indonesia. We have quite an activity in Europe and America. So we have found that these tools are also being used in well-resourced schools with computer labs, etc. So we strongly believe that we have a role to play in all schools. Why teach coding? I could do a whole presentation on that, and if I could stand still at this slide for longer, I wish I could. Because the reality we have at the moment is that the coding and robotics curriculum has been gazetted now nearly 2 years ago. And I don't need to remind teachers listening to me now that there's still no official rollout of the curriculum. So except for the few pilot schools, other schools do not need to roll out the curriculum. We from Tangible side, and I believe from many other people side, we strongly believe that schools should start somewhere. The curricula, the 3 different curricula have excellent content. We don't believe it's impossible for teachers to present some of that content. And while we have the curriculum, I don't think schools should have the attitude that they're waiting for the department. And we're picking up more and more schools have said, we can't wait longer, we're going to start. So Tangible's vision is to empower you as a teacher. We call it low budget, no budget, and low barrier of entry for teachers to make it possible for you to start. So as I've already said, Tangible Africa is a Nelson Mandela University project, engagement project, implemented by the Lever Foundation, an NPO here in Gqeberha. We have a footprint and we have countries across 5 continents that are using our tools. And just as an example, one of the active countries is Ireland, and they're launching a project. They've launched a project there combining with our tools and the microbit, which many of you probably know, as part of a national PhD study to see how our tools and microbit can work together to give teachers confidence in teaching in robotics. coding and robotics. Many of you might have seen, those who receive our newsletters, that we've just been accepted into the UNICEF-led Learning Cabinet. This is we were rigorously assessed since about September last year on our impact on the safety of our tools, research that we've done on the impact of our tools, and that so we've been accepted after 841 technology companies were assessed. At the moment, only 36 have been accepted. So we are very proud of this, and we will be pitching to various role players across the globe because of this within the next few months. So it's clearly a global movement now. I'm saying that obviously to brag, but more to say that our tools are relevant in many and all circumstances, environments across the world. We are in America, as I said, in Ireland, Indonesia, and in quite a number of countries in Africa. I'll be referring to our website every now and then. You don't need to be there now, but the website is where everything that most of that we will be talking about today, you can go back and refresh. I've got the URL there at the top, but the easiest is to go to Google and you can either type tangible coding, or if you want to, Tangible Africa, and you will find our website. So just remember that. This is what our homepage will look like when you arrive. So throughout the presentation, I'll refer you back to this website. You don't need to go there now. Just remember Google Tangible Coding or Tangible Africa once we're done. I'm going to start off with a short video because our flagship tool is our coding games. Many of you have played with them. The original one was Tanks, developed by the student in 2017, Byron Batterson at Mandela University. After Tanks, we moved over to Rangers, which has been and still is our flagship coding game. But this video will show you more or less the idea of how the game works. And this one focuses on our Speed Stars game, a game with a Grand Prix theme. So I'm going to start. Simpiwe, immediately warn me if you can't hear the sound.
Tangible teaches coding concepts without the use of computers. This promotes computational and design thinking, collaboration, creativity, and communication, all while having fun and playing games.
This tutorial will show you how to complete level 13 of Speed Stars. Your point is to get the red car past the finish line. You will start with the start puzzle piece, then you will repeat action 3 times, which will overtake the vehicles 3 times. You'll then turn left, and then while path is clear, you will move forward using the while conditional statement. You will then turn left once again, and then you will be able to repeat forward infinitely until you cross the finish line. And this is how you would put it together. Then you would scan the code. Once the code is scanned, if the code is correct, you say yes, and it executes. And that is how you complete level 13.
Okay, so that was Jackson, our engagement manager. He's on us with the line online today. He'll talk to you now. So the tokens that you'll be referring to is like physical puzzle pieces. And I thought I'll just show you a quick one online. I need to go to that mode to show you, just so you can see how that works. So in this scenario, you've got the game Rangers car that needs to move forward 5 blocks. And then it needs to turn right, and then it throws the net at the game ranger. So you always start with the start button. Don't worry if you don't understand too much of the loop, the complicated code. This is not a training session. So you have the repeat, and you say, I want to move forward 5 times. So you'll be doing this with physical tokens. So once I've moved forward 5 times, I will turn right. And then I will shoot my net to catch the game poacher. So this is the kind of the logic behind the games. And using this game, you will then scan it in with your cell phone. And like you saw now with the racing car, the game poacher's car will move and you will catch the poacher. So when you go to our webpage, there's a menu item that says our coding games. This, you can only do this obviously if you have the physical tokens, and then there's a bunch of videos there, getting started, Rangers level 2, etc. So we suggest that when people get the tokens, they watch these videos so that they can know how the game actually works. But as I said, today is not training, just making you aware about our tools. So for those of you that know programming, or even if you don't know programming, in the curriculum, they mention components of coding that needs to be addressed. Playing our games, you are doing sequential algorithms, sequential coding. That's coding one after the other. You will be doing loops, repeat and while loop. You'll be doing condition statements or the if statement. There will be nested constructs. I don't expect of you to know what that means if you haven't done coding before. There will be debugging. Debugging is the word for fixing your code, and you will be able to optimize and improve your code. Every game has 30 levels, and I can assure you by the time the learners get to levels 20, 25, it becomes very complex code. So it's not Mickey Mouse code, and they will have a lot of the coding concepts that they need to understand by simply using the puzzle pieces and a standard cell phone. So the first new thing, we still call it a beta version for the people that have been playing our games, but I think we're very close to saying this is now a robust version. So when I say beta, it means there could be a bug here and there. If you do find a bug, please let us know. So we now have 5 games available. So if you go onto Play Store and you search for the app Tangible Games on Play Store as well as iStore, you will find these 5 games. I see I duplicated Rangers, so I'm missing Speed Stars. Yeah, so there will be 5 games that you can play, download. They all work offline. I mean, once you've downloaded them, you don't need internet. In the help section, the difference between the games is obviously the theme, and the action, the red button, means different things. So this is the first new tool for the year. You don't only need to play Rangers from now onwards. I think our flagship activity is the games is the fun. That's where we started, and it's always going to be there. But our flagship activities for this year is our CAPS-aligned lessons. And Brittany and Kelly are going to introduce you to them. So I'm going to stop sharing. If I can hand over to Brittany to tell you about the foundation phase lessons. Brittany,
Hello,
I trust you there.
everybody. Yes, I am. I'll just put on my camera quickly. Hello, everybody. Like Prof mentioned, my name is Brittany, and I do the lessons of the foundation phase with the help of Louise and Kelly for the chatbot. So I'm just going to share my screen quickly. Just give me a few minutes. Here we go. Simpiwe, can you see my screen?
Yes, it's visible.
Thank you. So I will be covering the tangible foundation phase lessons that we do cover. This is some of our features. I would like to say that our foundation phase, as Prof mentioned, is 100% CAPS aligned, all the way from grade R to grade 9. It's complementary to the DBE material book, and it also empowers teachers. I believe fully that foundation phase is literally the foundation for the teachers and for learners to kickstart them into their studies and their careers. And what makes our lessons special is that they don't only prepare you for the coding and robotics lessons and curriculum, they also help learners develop a valuable life skill. such as problem solving, strategic thinking, teamwork, and perseverance. These skills can reach far beyond just a classroom. So in our lessons, we do show and allocate some time that you guys can do pattern recognition with them for grade R to grade 3, 15 minutes. It's a total of 10 weeks per term. Can I give it over to Kelly at this point for the CAPS teacher support and the chatbot, Prof?
So yeah, you can stop sharing and then Kelly can share.
Okay, perfect. Kelly, I'll hand over to you.
Thank you. Hi, I'm Kelly. I'm sure a lot of you have seen me or met me along the way. I deal with the senior phase with the grade 4 to 6 lessons and with the chatbot. So we've been welcoming lots of feedback from teachers in terms of the chatbot and how it's working, and we're implementing changes and improving it all the time. The chatbot this year is going to be a way for us to communicate with you new plans and new ideas and different things that are happening within the tangible world. We're not going to be sharing the weekly lesson plans like we did last year. As we were building the curriculum, we were sharing the weekly lesson plans. Is now what we've done is on the tangible chatbot, we have shared all the lessons for the term. So the full plan for foundation phase and the full plan for intermediate phase, with all the lessons, to hopefully, because that was one of the feedback, some of the feedback that we got from teachers, is that you want to be able to plan ahead. So plan for the whole term. So we've listened and we've implemented it, and we have put all the lessons for you to teach. I'm just going to also share my screen here. In terms of the intermediate phase, in the intermediate phase, we do not cover all the coding and robotics skills. We cover all the coding skills, yes, but then obviously we try and incorporate as many of the other outcomes and many of the other skills as we can in terms of digital skills and robotics. But because the grade 4 to 6 curriculum is a lot more involved and involves a lot more like specific work with microcontrollers, for example, it doesn't really integrate with what we do with the unplugged coding. And, that requires teachers to have those devices. And at the moment, our goal is to bring coding to everybody regardless of their resources. So you'll see here, this is the example of the planner that we've got. So for all the 10 lessons, it explains, gives the lesson title, just a small summary of what the lesson does, the coding and robotics skill. And then what we've also done is we've tried to link it with other curriculum, making other curriculum connections with topics that are being taught that term in other subjects. And the reason we want to do this is obviously the intermediate phase is not as heavily implemented as the foundation phase. It's still planned for in the future. And so what we want to try and do is we want to try and make the goal for the intermediate phase lessons was to make them half an hour, 45 minutes, so quick to do, to make them gamified and fun. The intermediate phase lessons don't involve like a lot of worksheets to print. It's a lot of like discussions or kids jotting down ideas or sharing things with the class. So it's not a lot of, it's not very worksheet heavy. And it's links with other curriculum subjects so that you can sort of use it as like a way to sort of revise those things. Make sure, have a different way of making sure that your learners understand that information. So we've made those curriculum connections just to make it easier on teachers, that you don't feel like for the majority of the teachers who are teaching this during their class time is you don't feel like you're taking 45 minutes away from your lessons and not getting anything out of it. We're trying to give other curriculum connections. And then what we've done this year is we've given you a assessment rubric that you can use. So what it does is it's got all the rubrics for the week. So here, this is week 1. These are the skills we're assessing. And this is the rubric that you can use to assess your learners. We've got a printable version of the mark sheets over here where you can put all the learners' names and their mark from 1 to 7 for all the different skills. And then we've got an online version as well where you can put you can use the Excel or Google Sheets version where you can put the marks in and it will calculate their average at the end. So those are some of the things that we've added this year to support teachers and to integrate it a little bit more. In terms of the skills, like I said before, we cover all the coding skills for each term. Sometimes we will pick up on the robotic skills that need to be taught if they integrate with like the style of lessons that we do and some of the digital skills over here. But our main focus is on the coding skills. Back to you.
Okay, that's great. So you're probably also wondering how to get to there as well. I have a short video with Jackson explaining how to navigate the chatbot. So I'll just share that quickly with everyone. Let me share. Go. Sampiwe, you can see my screen, right?
Yes, I can see your screen, but the video hasn't started.
I will play the video now. So this is Jackson just explaining how to navigate the chatbot.
Are you ready to bring coding to life in your classroom? Well, introducing the Tangible Teachers WhatsApp chatbot powered by the Lever Foundation. It's simple to get started. Just send a hi to the chatbot and you'll be welcomed with our user-friendly main menu. One of the first steps is to complete your registration. This gives you access to our latest lessons, updates, and exclusive opportunities. From there, return to the main menu to access lesson plans for grades R to 7 developed by experienced teachers. These lessons include life links, discussion points, remedial and extension activities, and they are not just worksheet-based. They focus on problem solving and real classroom engagement. Each week, teachers get a new lesson plan via WhatsApp message that they can access and implement in class immediately. And they come in easy-to-print PDF formats. You'll also receive updates on coding tournaments and other initiatives from Tangible Africa. It's a straightforward way to bring coding to your classroom. No computers required. Start your journey with a Tangible Teachers WhatsApp chatbot today, and let's build the future together through coding.
So we really want to partner with your teachers with this, especially foundation phase and intermediate phase. We know it's an overwhelming new thing coming in, and you already have to deal with, I know foundation phase, you already have to deal with a lot of kids and all their needs and stuff. Adding another thing on your plate is a bit overwhelming. So we try our best to help you and support you in every way, and I will be there to support you in every way as well. I just would like to go through one of the lessons. These lessons are sometimes I cover with the teachers as well if I do go for a workshop or something. So I'll be covering grade 2, term 2, 2025 lesson. Lesson 3. These are some of the resources that we do offer in the lesson plan that we give. and we give you this, you will have them cut it out, or you as a teacher can cut it out for them. This is grade twos, so I think they can cut, but if you don't feel comfortable and you feel like it takes too much time, you can cut it out for them. And with the one on this side, with the presents over there, we use a grid mat as well, just to put it down on the ground. And you as a teacher can place the presents anywhere. And we give you like move forwards, move backwards, turn left and turn right tokens that the learners will be placing down at the bottom of the grid mat from left to right. And we will have one robot, one learner as the robot, just moving around on the grid mat to pick up each present. There is a whole story behind it. It's like Susan wants the present with the wavy stripes. And then you would ask the learners which present has the wavy stripe, have the robot move to that present. And that's how you use that game in the classroom. And then on the other side, as part of the lesson plan as well, there is a worksheet that we give where there's a truck over there and you have to have the truck move to the cherry. And that forms also nice with one of our games called Juicy Gems, but I'll get that back into that later in the presentation. So you have to cut out for them these move forwards, turn left, turn right, and they just have to place it on the section that's provided for them on there. I would just like to show how this is demonstrated in a classroom setting, so I'll play the video for you guys. There we go. I just want to make mention of two things now that I'm looking at this video. What makes us stand out is that we don't require the use of computers. Everyone can actually do coding and robotics with Tangible Africa, as well as a grid mat. If you are not by any means, your school is not by means of purchasing the grid mat, look how these students and look how what this teacher took the initiative to draw the grid mat on the ground for the learners to play the game. That's two things that makes Tangible Africa stand out in my personal opinion. The game that I mentioned, Juicy Gems, is powered by Tangible. So this is one of the games that you will be also playing with them if you would like. Prof, would you like me to cover this game and how it works?
Yes, sorry, I just had to unmute myself. Yeah, if you can do it quickly so people can get an idea. Yeah,
No
about 2, 3
problem.
minutes. Yeah, thanks.
No problem. So this is the game Juicy Gems. You can download it on Android. Basically, you have to choose proceed without logging in once you have downloaded the game. After that, you fill in the details. It's important that you fill in the correct details so that this can be entered into our games that we play on Mandela Day, Coding for Mandela Day. To access the lessons, you would have to click Adventure. These will show the lessons, and these are the lessons. So I did grade 2, lesson 3, and it will show the exact same thing that is on the worksheet, just on a game. But how you play this game is you toggle with the arrows over here just to move forward, turn left or turn right. So you'll just have to press that. What I have to say is that you have to figure it out first, then capture your movements by toggling with the arrows and then submit it. That way the car will move. So you first have to figure it out, then you play the game. And that's basically Juicy Gems and how it is run. Thank you very much, everybody.
Yes, thanks, Brittany. If you can, you're not sharing, are you? Okay, I'll start sharing again. Thanks, Brittany. Just something that I want to make very clear. Obviously, all of this is for free. Your only costs would be to print the documents at the end. We have just literally, if I can show you, printed a few copies of our documents. I hope you can see them. I'm taking them to a conference in Pretoria tomorrow. So we will be making the printed documents available literally at cost price. We prefer people to actually use the chatbot, but if people are interested in getting a printed version of the lessons, we can make them available. And then very important for foundation phase, Brittany did say, but I want you to hear this. If you as a teacher do our lessons throughout the year, you will be covering the whole curriculum. You can say to your headmaster, we're covering the whole curriculum. From grade 4 upwards, as Kelly has described, they need devices for Scratch, etc. It's not our mandate. We try to do unplugged coding so that we can bring something to everyone. But as an experienced coding professor for 30 years, I can say I strongly believe if you can't present grade 4 to 6 because you don't have computers, etc., and you can't do Scratch, the coding you do by playing our game, I believe, is more than enough to set your kids up for a bright future. Okay, I'm just going to share quickly my slides again. Okay. So that was Brittany and Kelly. If you want to access the chatbot, if you go to our website, there's a tab that says Teacher Support, and there's a place there on that page where you can either just click on a link if you're on your phone, or if you're on your laptop, you can just scan in that QR code and it will take you to the chatbot. It's basically just a conversation you're having on WhatsApp. Should be very simple, and I think we've showed you that we have probably have over 3,000 teachers registered already. Brittany has showed you this. I don't need to show you again. Right. The other pillar of our activities is our coding tournaments. And these are specifically using our coding games. Because these games have different levels, starting from level 1 and increasing in capacity up to level 30, they're ideal for teams to compete against each other. So we have, I think, 4 major tournaments throughout the year. There's always a lot of others, and Rosin's going to share soon something new for the schools that have been with us. April is our girls tournament month. There will be a physical tournament in Cape Town, and they will be competing from Cape Town with Amazon Think Big Spaces across the world on that day. But the rest of April, we will have a virtual tournament. That means any learner from anywhere can participate on their phone. We'll give more detail as we get closer to the time. So all your learners will be your girl learners will be able to participate in that tournament. It will run over a few weeks. The scores will come into our database and we will choose a winner. Coding for Mandela is by far our flagship event. I can't get into too much detail. Coding for Mandela normally has about 3 pillars. The one is learners playing at their school or in their town against each other using our coding games. And we will train you and show you how to do that. So it's a physical tournament where people get together. It can either be 300 in a big hall, getting schools from the same city, or it could be 20 kids in your school. We don't care. You have a tournament and you choose a winner. You then submit, okay, that's the tournament part. Then we have the Coding for Mandela dance, for those who haven't heard about it. I should have played it now, but I won't, where we get whole schools to dance. It's a dance that talks about coding, and you can participate by just recording your school dancing. Great fun. Last year we had, I think, 17,000 learners across Africa dancing and submitting videos. And then we have what we call interactive activities. It's like the lessons that Kelly and Brittany has been talking about. It's activities you can do in your classroom, but they will have a Mandela theme. And by doing those activities and submitting your participation, you can also be part of Coding for Mandela. The incentives, the prizes are, last year it was around worth 70,000 Rand in total. One of the fun incentives was a teacher was flown down to Cape Town for our gala dinner in November. But there's individual cash prizes, etc., for kids to win and schools to win. After Coding for Mandela, every tournament sends through their winning team to our head office in Gqeberha. They then compete on a virtual coding tournament end of August. They will still be using our tokens. They will still be playing one of our games, but we have a tournament app where as you play on your phone, your scores and whatever levels you succeed in, how long it takes, etc., is sent through to a central database that teams from across the country are competing against each other, but there's no cost in traveling. The participating teams can play exactly where they are. They just, in this one, they need internet connection. Last year, we chose 48 teams from across South Africa to participate in the Tangible World Cup. The date is at the moment not finalized. We're negotiating the date with all the other countries in the world, where your team then competes against teams from across the world. Last year, we had 340 teams from 30 countries participating. And congratulations if they're in the room. Stanger Manor Primary became first from KwaDukuza, and Stanger Manor Secondary came second. So South Africa had first and second last year. Stanger Manor Secondary was the winning team in the senior league. We've got a junior primary league and a senior league. I'm going to show you this video. That's just kind of so you can get the vibe. Last year they used Code Cup for the World Cup.
We have learners here ready to participate in the Tangible Coding World Cup.
I'm in the Think Big space in Dublin. Everybody say good morning. Say hello, everybody.
We are very excited to want to win the cup. We have 10 teams over here and everyone is super excited to be here.
Oh, that looks very exciting. How are we doing? Is Indonesia good?
This is happening globally. Think Big Spaces have connected countries across the globe, and especially where there are data centers, to learn about digital education while playing a fun game. We have over 30 countries participating, 400 teams involved with 1,600 learners. Let's look at the learners going in right now. They're ready to compete, they're ready to have fun. The energy is up there. The learners are getting into their teams and they're going to compete. We're going to have a really, really good time.
Where play meets purpose. Over 130 venues, one global Zoom connection, and thousands of learners representing their countries and competing against other schools. Together, they're not only closing the digital divide, but the social divide as well. Playing, laughing, and learning as they go. Using mobile devices and puzzle pieces, they explore the basics of block coding and computational thinking to solve problems as a team. It's fun, it's global, and it's revealing talent the world is ready to see.
Thank you, Amazon and Tangible!
And as you can see, or you can't see, I know, our main base for the World Cup tournament last year was the Amazon headquarters in Cape Town, where Jackson was the host and also the global host virtually. But I'm going to now hand over to Rosalind to share some exciting news for schools regarding having your own tournament throughout the year. Over to you, Rosalind.
Thank you, Prof. Hi, everyone. My name is Rosalind, and I'm just going to be sharing a quick demo with you for how tournaments work on the tournament platform that Prof mentioned. Just going to share my screen quickly. There we go. Can you see my screen? Prof?
Yes, thanks. We can see.
Thank you. So the tournament app comes in two parts, as you can see over here. On the left here, I have a screen share of my phone. So this is the app that learners will actually be using to play and participate in the tournament. So this is a mobile app available on both Android and iOS. And then on the right here, we've got a web view, which is of a live tournament leaderboard. So this will be shared by tournament organizers, just so teams can kind of see how they're tracking along within the tournament, and this will live update as they go. So I'm going to play as a learner team. I'm going to be Lever Team 1, and you'll see me show up when I join. So to do this, we need a unique joining code to participate. This will uniquely identify my team on the platform. So you can see me joining there. Once I join, I'll be prompted to start the tournament. Once I do actually start this attempt, I won't be able to repeat my attempt. So you get one attempt per team. So you only do this when you're ready to actually play. And then once you start playing, you have access to all the levels. I'm just going to show you level 1 here. This is a Speedstars game. So this is one of our new games where you navigate the car over the line. We still use the normal tangible tokens, as you can see here. And there we go, we complete the level. We then can complete all the levels. This is level 2, where we use an action token. This will help us pass the blue car in front of us. There we go, we've got 2 levels. And you can see on the leaderboard there, we are Lever Team 1. And we've now jumped up to 3rd place because we completed 2 of the levels. And then if I just finish the final level, which is level 3, this one we have to move forward, overtake, and then move forward again. So you can see there, take the picture of the tokens and wait for it to complete. And then it says all levels complete, well done, and it gives us a summary of our score. And you can see on the right here, it's updated as we are now the winning team. So we completed all 3 levels fastest and in the least attempts. And so we would win the tournament essentially. And yeah, so this is what we're going to be offering for teams to compete against each other. You can do it on your own virtually. You don't all have to be in the same place. It does use the internet, as Prof mentioned, but then you get the wonderful score sharing where everyone can see how they're doing. Yeah, and that's tournaments. Thank you. Back to you, Prof.
Just while you're on the line, so just to make sure that the participants understand, you can contact Rosalind and organize your own tournament. Rosalind, it's very easy to get the pins, etc.
Yes, so we can set all of that up for you. You contact us, we set the tournament up with the levels, and we give you access to the leaderboard. And we'll also give you access to a Google form where you fill out your team details, and then we automatically send you codes so that you can join your tournament. So it's all automated. You don't have to do anything other than tell us what you need for the tournament and give us your team details.
And just tell us something that makes me very excited. Was it Spain, or what's that interesting tournament you had in Spain or somewhere over Christmas, over December?
Yes, over December in Spain, we had it's a football festival that they run. So we did an expo at that where one of our partners in Spain ran the tournament themselves with CodeCup. So they played all 10 levels, and we had, I think, 60-odd teams participating in that over the 2 days that the expo was at.
So that you can get an idea, is you have an exhibit at a career expo or a table, and the kids can come to your table, they register, you give them a pin, they play. And they can come back, or you can be there for the whole day. So kids play consistently throughout the day. You don't mind if they repeat. So it's a really fun way of making your table engaging, your career table engaging. And I haven't discussed this with the team, but I can imagine a team from Lusikisiki competing against a partner school in Dublin. those kind of things can also happen in the future. Excellent. I see Rosalind's just nodding her head, but I'm sure that can happen.
Yes, that can definitely happen.
Okay, so
And
what
they
you've
can
just
compete
seen,
as many times as they want.
yeah, see, as what you've seen from Rosalind now is that's how the World Cup and the nationals work as well. But we don't only need to wait for those two big tournaments. You can have your own ones at school. We had one a few weeks ago in Indonesia, where they simply just contacted Rosalind. She sent them pins and levels, and they ran their own tournament. Thanks, Rosalind.
Thank you.
Okay, I'll just share quickly mine again. Okay, so that was doing your own tournament at school. Something that is new is the concept of running your own coding club. I'm not saying running your own coding club is a new concept, but Jackson has worked very hard on a document for them in Cape Town, but it will soon be available for any teacher to use as a guideline to run a coding club. And then Jackson will also refer to online training. So over to you, Jackson.
Thank you, Prof. I'm sure I'm visible. Hey, everyone. Great to be here. I'll just share a little bit. I'll share my screen as well on our coding clubs, and then I will share regarding our online training. So if you can see my presentation, there we go. So I'm going to go through this quickly. As mentioned, the reason we exist is to make learning more engaging. We focus on problem solving and computational thinking. And we also love the idea of collaboration by learners and adapting. That's why Prof earlier spoke about the idea of debugging, being able to solve problems on the go. And of course, we focus on computational thinking skills. And something we've added recently is entrepreneurship. But when it comes to our coding clubs, how it was done historically is we were going into schools and then we would just play the game, and then that would be an awareness campaign, and it would be cool for learners to be excited about software development or coding. But then we realized there's so much more that we can offer learners, and we developed a 6-session coding club format that we could share at schools, where once we give our coding kit to a school or to a teacher, they can run continuous coding clubs using our 6-session format. So how the first session will work would be just a tangible introduction, and we'd call this a let's play day, where they play our game, and it's just about getting learners excited. Wait, sorry, this needs to change to that. Perfect. So here we go. So it will just be the tangible introduction, and then the second one would really focus more on there's a mistake here. It shouldn't be AI. It should be on the coding concepts that would be learned in a first-year coding class or programming course, which is, as earlier mentioned, things like for loops, while loops, and if statements. So that would be session 2. And then we look at design thinking and entrepreneurship, session 3. And then we look at digital careers and mathematics for session 4. Then session 5 and 6, the teachers would be able to do something a bit more calm, like tangible chess, where we bring about a competitive element, and tournaments within the classroom, within your coding club, because you have to divide the learners in teams. So what you would receive is a document that looks like this, which would be a tangible facilitator guide. But this is currently in beta version. We're going to have this finalized and shared by end of February. So this would be a handbook that you could run the coding club with. So you wouldn't have to use everything in memory, but you'd be able to go through this handbook and you'd know how to run session 1. So session 1 would be introduction to tangible coding, and you are told their facilitator instructions what questions to ask learners, how to explain coding in real terms, such as how to use a car or how to use an ATM machine. And then we have how to assemble puzzle pieces. We have QR codes here with extra information that you could use. And this runs for all of the sessions. Where in session 3, you look at design thinking for entrepreneurship. We give you examples of what design thinking is, what computational thinking aspects are participating in entrepreneurship. And we run through this whole course, and then there's a availability of the course, of course, on our drive, a shared drive that we'll share with teachers, where you don't only get that material, but also what you'll get are video support of what the courses look like. So, for example, the digital careers and mathematics, there's a video that you could play in class in case a teacher is not comfortable with sharing that information. Or some teachers have teacher assistants running the class and they would want some video support as well. So there'll be a lot that we're sharing to support coding clubs. There'll be even YouTube clips that you can go to advise on how best you can run a coding club. And to get back to our presentation, there's certain key mindsets that we really want to give learners when it comes to the digital economy that come to life in the coding club, such as computational thinking, where learners are breaking a problem into clear, repeatable steps, as well as design thinking, where they understand what people need and then they test solutions. So this is really what we look at in the coding club. And why do we talk about maths? When we look at in 2024 statistics, only 1 in 3 matric learners chose mathematics. But in 2025, we had 64% of learners who passed maths, but this is using 30% as the pass mark. If we look at anything over 50%, only 25% of them passed over 50%. So it's amazing to choose maths, and it opens up more doors for learners after grade 12. But there's a lot of work to ensure that those learners get a high pass percentage so that they can be eligible for opportunities such as bursaries. And we connect learners to bursary opportunities once we see that they've performed well in maths. And then finally, there's so many opportunities that exist in the digital economy. And this is what we want to show learners what the future of work can look like, where it's more than just becoming a doctor, lawyer, teacher, or an engineer, but you can get into data science, you can get into digital marketing, you can even have a remote job where you work for an international company or you work as remote tech support. And then coding and app testing is also something that people could run their own businesses with. So the gig economy could be something that young people can become entrepreneurs in. So this is really what we're trying to get out of our coding club, to inspire these young people to think beyond just traditional careers and beyond just coding, but showing them what this world of the digital economy really looks like. So that's the first. And then when it comes to how else we support teachers, as Prof shared, he has put the link of the Tangible website on the chat. And once you come to our Tangible website, of course, there's teacher support, there's coding clubs, but I want to focus on teacher training. And this is freely available to any teacher who's interested in our Tangible courses. So here we have a design thinking course and a coding and algorithms course. I'll just do the coding and algorithms one now so that you can just see the user interface and how simple it is. So this is our Tangible Coding and Algorithms online course. Once you click the link on the website, it will bring you here. And as you can see, registration is free. You'll be able to register for free.
And if you have a Google account, but even if you have Facebook, X, LinkedIn, or Apple, you can use that account, or you can just log in with your email. I'll use my Google account since I've already logged in, and then it will just sign in. There we go. As it signs up, I've now signed in, and then I'll continue with my course. And then you'll see here that there's the entire context of the program. The teacher would firstly introduce themselves. So you'd start here to introduce yourself, would get to know your name, what country you're at. Some people work for nonprofits. So even if you work for a nonprofit, you can do this course. Some people are teachers. Find out about their years of experience, and we ask a few more questions. And then you can go through your own time through our different course material. Some of it is in video form. Some of it we want you to do some feedback. So you hear about a founding story. There will be a video you can watch. There will be learning about what we do. But then there's also computational thinking where we tell you about computational thinking, etc. But to cut the long story short, this is accessible to you. And then at the end of this entire course, of course, the course goes as you complete it. It's a multiple hurdle approach. As you complete one section, the next opens up. And at the end, you can get a certificate of completion. So it opens up a certificate of completion. You put your name, you put your surname, you claim your certificate. And then your certificate, you can download it. And as I download it, we'll see there that it's been downloaded. And you'll be able to get your tangible certificate. Jackson Shabalala completed the coding and algorithms. Then finally, our certificates are SACE accredited. So you can get your SACE points, and then there'll be a register where you can fill in your name, ID number, and your SACE number, so that when we submit all the information of teachers who are legible for SACE points, your information will be there. And then, of course, once you are running your sessions at the schools, because now you've been trained, you have your certification, you probably have the kit, you will just keep on logging your sessions here. You'll mention your name, your email address, how you found the session, how many learners were in the sessions. And if you have any comments, questions, or concerns, you can let us know. And if you've taken a picture and you'd like to be part of our newsletter, as you've seen, we share what happens across the country and across the world at what happens with Tangible. You can upload your file and then you're done. And it's really that simple. And once you're on this platform, if you finish this coding and algorithms course, there are many other courses that teachers can access. Some are for free, some are paid for, but all the tangible courses are for free. So there's a SpeedStars course, there's a design thinking course, etc., etc. I think I'll end there. I hope my screen was being shared and you were able to see everything there. I'll just stop sharing. And I think that's it from me, Prof. If I've missed anything, please let me know. I'll be happy to give more detail.
I can make you sweat and say we saw nothing, Jackson, but that would be unfair on you. No,
I
we saw
literally
everything.
started sweating as soon as you say that.
No, we saw everything. Thanks. So okay, I'll start sharing. We're nearly done, guys. I was hoping to finish it at 5, but we'll be slightly over time. But I've got 3 or 4 slides left. Okay, so just to remind you, on our website, Tangible Coding or Tangible Africa, if you want to Google it, there's the teacher training menu, and you'll find the 2 ones that Jackson has just referred to. We've got 3 main products that we sell. The game pack, it's the set of 31 tokens, and 3 to 5 learners can play at a time. We try to encourage schools not to get learners to play on their own. It's better if they play in groups, and that's 250 Rand. If you really do not have the budgets for these game packs, Send a subsidy request. We try and get sponsors as much as possible. But if you can afford it, I think it's much cheaper than some of the other resources that you would use. You saw Brittany referring to the grid mat. You don't need to buy a grid mat, but we sell one for 200 Rand. But you can make your own grid on, if you have tiles or outside on the grass or whatever, as long as you have something that resembles a chessboard. I think it's 6x6 is the standard grid that we use. And the Rages coding kit is a kit of 3,500. There's 8 game packs, so a class of 40 will be able to play at the same time. Very important, there's 4 sets of lesson plans. These are different to the lessons that Kelly and Brittany spoke about. It's little booklets with lesson plans that cover the concepts of coding, design thinking, computational thinking, and digital citizenship. It's interactive lessons. So if you do these 4 books, you are covering a lot of the curriculum from grade R to grade 7. If you go and look at the curriculum, you will see these words as the main pillars. And the coding kit also includes a grid mat. But once again, we can't say we'll give it for free. But if you really need these and you have a need to apply for a subsidized kit, please contact us. And as soon as we get sponsorships, we'll come back to you. Very exciting. This is brand new, so new that it doesn't exist yet, but we are working on it, and I'm hoping that we'll have it ready by the end of the term. We're going to call it our assessment app. We've had requests from teachers, especially regarding coding. They would like to print out little reports that they can give to parents or to their headmaster or keep in their class, where the learner will go onto this app, do some of our coding activities, and there will be an assessment done, and it will print out a report. So you will say, Johnny can do sequential coding, can do repeat loops, while loops, nested structures. There'll be an opportunity to have multiple choice questions. So it will be an automated assessment. But this is early days, but we are already working and designing it. We'll be showing it to the school that requested that in 2 weeks' time. But this is going to be available to all schools. So the way this will be something like a tournament, but obviously as an assessment tool, a school will register with us. We'll give them pins for the assessment app. Each individual kid will have their own pin, and they will play on the app, and it will record their abilities. We really are very excited about the assessment app. I'm going to end off with this great video. It was, we played, well, our partners played Speedstars at the Las Vegas Grand Prix last year in November. Just as a name's dropping, Lewis Hamilton was physically there. But the lady we're listening to here is one of the famous teachers in America. She belongs to their Hall of Fame for IT teachers. And her team from her school was the World Robotics Champion in 2025. But listen what she says. She's literally talking about our coding games in Las Vegas last year, November. Just need to get it going.
Then whenever you're ready.
Okay. My name is Casey Giuliano. I'm the coach and teacher at Greenspun Junior High School Robotics, current world champions for VAX. We're here at F1 with my teams, and they are engaged and loving the Creative Hut. For students to be able to come out and to engage with coding and pre-coding experiences that facilitate critical thinking, problem solving, the grit, perseverance. It's just been the highlight of our field trip, besides meeting the pits and the drivers, of course. But they have been engaged now for 20 minutes, and they could continue going even with everything going on. This has been fantastic, and we're so grateful for the opportunity, and I can't wait to look into how I can integrate this into my classrooms so that my students can have a wonderful scaffold up to the Python that I teach them later.
We are extremely excited about the feedback we got from this lady. The important things are the skills that she mentions while her kids were playing Speedstars, and then the idea that it's preparing her learners. Remember, these are world champs for Python, which is a conventional coding language. That brings us to our last screen. People have been asking how to contact us, any of the people that spoke. There's 2 easy ways. The email address is info@leverfoundation.org. But if you forget that, go back to our website and top right-hand corner, there's a contact tab where you can type us a message. And as soon as that arrives, we'll forward it to the correct person. If any of you want to earn SACE points for attending this workshop, you can either scan in this QR code. It will take you to a Google form where you need to enter your details, and we will provide you with an attendance register that you can submit to SACE. Or if you're on your phone yourself now, you can click on the link there, and we can put you in contact. If you aren't able to do that now, just go to the website, send me a contact request, and I'll send you the link. I think that is it. From my side, I'm going to stop sharing. I know it's 5 o'clock. We're over our time. Instead of having questions now, I think the best is if you send off comments on the website or on info@levafoundation.org, and then we'll respond. Thank you very much for Kelly and Rosalind and Brittany and Jackson that shared with me, and for Simpiwe in the background at HQ that did all the background. Yeah, I believe we reached capacity. So if you have colleagues that couldn't get in, we will make the recording of this session available, hopefully by as soon as tomorrow, from a YouTube link. Thank you very much to everyone. Have a good evening, and thanks for joining us in the middle of a new term. Have a good year. Thank you very much. Bye-bye. So Simpiwe, you can stop the recording. Just tell me when you've done it.